All right, had to pose for the Facebook shot. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are all of you tonight, today? What time is it? Super stoked to be on here with all of you. Putting my lip gloss on so you guys know I don't use a filter anywhere. There you go. How are you guys? Wow. We are looking pale as ever on Facebook. Oh, I'm going to put my earrings in. And let me just put these in. Welcome. Do me a favor, wherever you are tuning in at, throw me a heart or a thumbs up. Like this video. Tell me where you're tuning in from in the comments section. You know, we're going to do something super not so interesting today because we apparently have tripped all the algorithms to be angry at us. One moment. One moment. I'm just going to put some essential oil on my cheeks while I explain to all of you what's going on. We're going to make a kale salad and talk about those miserable relationships that are karmic, that are keeping you from your life's purpose. That's what we're going to do tonight, okay? So it's like we're going to get two birds with one stone. And you notice I said get two birds with one stone instead of another word. Now, why am I being careful about what I say? Well, because I've been really open lately about how much I love our systems that are in place. My glasses. And I've made, I've made Meta angry. So I'm going to make them happy again by making a kale salad and acting just super uninteresting. Okay, so let's keep it vanilla. How are all of you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Let me make sure that I am visible on Facebook. I put my little old lady glasses on for all of you. Oh, I look pretty. Hang on, you guys. Boy, Facebook loves me today. Welcome, Caitlin. Tell me where you're tuning in from. We are going to make a kale salad and talk about the miserable relationships that are keeping you stuck, stagnant, and not fulfilling your life's purpose. I thought we would get two birds together. So let's talk about this first. Let's talk about why we are making a big kale salad in a mixing bowl. Now, I would have used an A word, but I can't do that because apparently we're not all adults and we can't use certain words on these platforms. So I'm just going to be as vanilla as the organic Watkins vanilla I have in my pantry. Okay, we are going to vanilla. I almost feel like I should put my hair in a bun and put something like cloak myself, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm cloaked enough. I'm cloaked enough. So before I get into the ingredients, let me introduce myself. I am Andrea Cox, intuitive healer, holistic wellness coach. I have written 3 plant-based books. The most recent, Eat Right for Your Zodiac. Why? Because astrology does matter. That is a quote from JP Morgan. He said something like, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. And I believe that. I am an astrologer. I love astrology. I have a second YouTube channel built on it called The Detox Intuitive. I have 2 YouTube channels, Andrea Cox TV for health and wellness and The Detox Intuitive for intuitive guidance, astrology, things of that nature. And I just created an oracle deck called The Lessons of the Mystical Muse. Welcome. Thank you for all the hearts on Facebook. Tell me where you're tuning in from in the comments. This is a 72 card oracle deck based on health, wellness, our animal spirit guides, and our Akashic records. Basically, in a nutshell, what I do for a living, I am a healer. I heal you through living foods herbs, and by teaching you how to tap into your Akashic records, which is your past lives, so you can clear out all that past life karma and be happy, successful, in love, yada, yada, in this lifetime. What are we missing? We're missing an avocado, and I hope for the love of God we have one. We might actually be out, but we can survive without an avocado. Hang on. Let's see, do we have an avocado? No, we do not. Of course we don't. No, no. Okay, so we're out of what I was going to use in this salad, but that's okay. We can still do it without it. So basically what I have here is shredded kale. So I managed to find one head of kale in my garden. I have not replanted the garden in over a year. It is full of what look like weeds, but is actually evening primrose, basil, and all kinds of beautiful stuff. So we have, I'd say, about 2 heads of shredded kale. I shredded it off camera. We have some Roma tomatoes that are delicious. We have just some store-bought organic sauerkraut from Trader Joe's. I have 2 that are kind of going bad. This is the pickle sauerkraut, so I'm going to put this in. We have a little bit of organic arugula, so I'm going to put this in. We have half of a cucumber. This is basically clean your fridge salad is what we'll call it, or karmic clearing salad, which is even better. And we've got some almond chipotle dip. Normally I would have an avocado, and we've got some organic baked tofu. Now, I know a lot of you, and we have some little kind of crumbles that I made in the dehydrator out of nuts and seeds. Let me grab 2 more ingredients since we don't have avocados. Okay, we've also got a little nutritional yeast, which is full of B vitamins, and apple cider vinegar, which is good for the gut. You know, I see a lot of you talking about like alkaline water and how it's bad for you because the gut needs to be acidic to digest food. That's absolute nonsense. I've seen quite a few of you saying that. That is nonsense. It's a total lie. So ignore anyone you hear saying that. Yes, the gut does need to be acidic to digest food. However, alkaline water is very beneficial, and you shouldn't be drinking water near meals anyway. I've taught you that in food combining. So here's what I'm going to do. We don't have an avocado like I had planned. Let's talk about why we eat the way we eat, why we eat a high vibrational living foods diet. And what does that have to do with relationships? What does kale and avocados and tomatoes and sauerkraut and going vegan have to do with our relationships? Well, a lot of us get stuck in these karmic figure 8 loop, you know, no vulnerability, no love, codependent, toxic relationships where we're unhappy. And what that does, it's kind of part of a divine orchestration, a divine plan, so to speak. It keeps us, thank you, whoever said, I like your dress. I think it was on TikTok. Thank you. It has flowers, and I got it from the Goodwill when I moved here. I like to be sustainable with my clothing choices. You will never find me at Saks Fifth Avenue, although I did used to model there. Okay, so why do we eat all of this healthy food? Because, you know, in order to cleanse, right, our lives, our finances, our relationships, we can't have a gut out to here. We can't be, you know, foggy-headed. We can't be unclear. In order to clear up our lives, we have to clean up the diet. Your issues live in your tissues. So if you are not eating a high frequency diet, you're not going to have a high vibration. You're not going to have a high frequency life. So let's start. So we've got about 2 heads of shredded kale. This is curly kale. We're going to dump Trader Joe's. I'm trying to make vegan easy for you. So if you are a raw vegan, like I've been for years, and you're going to come over here and be like, oh my God, baked organic tofu that's cooked. Oh my God, she didn't make her sauerkraut from scratch. I've shown you guys how to do all of that for years, and no, I didn't. I'm a busy woman, and I want to make food that's easy for everyone. I don't want to just say, oh, you have to make this from scratch, and your sprouts, you need to sprout your own sprouts, which I do. You need to make your, sauerkraut from scratch. That's who I was for years and years and years. But a lot of my clients that come to me are literally working 2 jobs, or they're very busy, or they're big Bitcoin kings, or they're, attorneys, and they don't have time for any of this. I have a client in town now cleansing at a local resort. He doesn't have time for any of this, nor do I. So we're gonna dump the sauerkraut in here. Get that macrobacterial life. This is basically getting rid of everything in my fridge. We're gonna take the other sauerkraut. We're gonna dump that in here. So we've got 2 heads of kale and 2 jars of sauerkraut. We're gonna take, let me get a knife. Okay, I know you guys love how prepared I am. So far, sauerkraut, kale, very easy. We're gonna take a cucumber. We had half a cucumber left in the fridge. We're just gonna cut that up. We wanna do our raw veggies first. I'm gonna leave the arugula, well, we're gonna add the arugula because it allows us to have like a bitter taste. So you wanna always think when you're making a big salad of like the 5 Ayurvedic tastes. You want sweet, you want salty, you want pungent or bitter, you want fatty. That's where the avocado should have came in, but we're gonna use something else instead, because that's what we do. We make, easy out of what we have. That light's definitely not going on. So let's add the arugula, like so. We're gonna add a little bit of nutritional yeast, and I don't measure. Nutritional yeast is excellent if you're planning on adopting a high raw diet or a plant-based diet or a vegan diet, because it's full of B vitamins. And despite what people think, when you go vegan, you are not lacking protein. There's a lot of protein in nuts, seeds, even fruit has a little bit of protein in every piece. Vegetables have protein. And despite what we've been led to believe, our bodies do not need the amount of protein that they have always made you think that you need. I've been vegan 26 years. I am very healthy. I've got little 6-pack abs. I've got a nice booty on me. I'm not lacking any. Obviously, I'm not lacking any protein, or my hair would not be down to my waist and thick as hell, right? So we've added that. Okay, so we're just gonna mix this up. Instead of the avocado, since I never plan these, I think we're gonna add some hemp seeds. And we're gonna add this almond chipotle dip from Trader Joe's. We love Trader Joe's. You're just gonna kind of mix that up. Let the sauerkraut get in there. I can tell it's about to get super hot in Arizona because I'll spare you the details of well, my upper lip is sweaty. Anyway, so let's talk about, as we mix this, because you want to give it a really good mix before you put the tomatoes and the rest of the ingredients in. This is actually going to be a really high protein salad since I forgot the avocado. So of course, as things always do, they're going to work out in my favor. And I know so many of you love that, right? Right. I always get what I want. Okay. So let's talk about our relationships and what a karmic relationship is and why our food matters when it comes to these big life choices. Your gut is like your second brain. So if you are constipated, if you are bloated, if you are constantly passing gas, if you aren't feeling well, you're not going to be clear-headed to make sound judgment choices when it comes to your relationships. In fact, you're going to open yourself up to a lot of entity attachments that also, entity attachments they don't just come by being in close proximity with other people. They also come from intimacy. So you really, really want to make sound choices, right? With your food, with your relationships, because a lot of you, you guys come to me and you're in these miserable relationships where you have not been happy for years. For years, you've been bored. For years, you haven't been doing your life's purpose. For years, you haven't been going after what you really desire and really deserve. And part of it has to do with your diet, with what you're eating, with what you're, with what you're not cutting out. Healing your gut and healing your body is not about what you add into the diet. Oftentimes, it's what you leave out of the diet that makes all the difference in the world. So that's why, having a big salad like this as a staple every day in your food regimen is super, super healthy, and it's a super wise choice. Okay, so what are we doing now? We are adding some of these tomatoes that were about to go bad. So essentially what I'm doing, folks, is I am utilizing everything in my fridge in this big healthy salad. Now, this big salad in this mixing bowl is a serving for me. I'll eat this whole entire thing. I'll probably run to the store and add a huge avocado in there, and I'll eat the whole thing. I'll add some hemp seeds, etc. Why? Because it's the way I eat. I've had juice today. I've had probably 20 tangerines. I've had some raw vegan crackers with some avocado on it, and then I'll have this. So what are we gonna do next? We're gonna add the rest of, because we're trying to get rid of our empty containers, our almond chipotle dip, which is from Trader Joe's. It just has tamari, almonds, garlic, nutritional yeast, tomato puree, sea salt, pepper, granulated onion, smoked paprika, and distilled vinegar and garlic. That's so simple. Like, I could make that myself, but who wants to? If you can pay like $4 and get it at the store, yeah, you can do that, but you guys, I've been vegan longer than a lot of you have been on this earth, okay? And when I first went vegan, I would not, oh my God, when I tell you I would not eat at a restaurant, I would not eat at a restaurant, I would not eat at anyone's house. It was a big deal one year for Thanksgiving. Like, my oldest sister had to be like reprimanded by my mom before Thanksgiving not to like tease me and make me feel uncomfortable. It was a big deal for me. Now I can eat anywhere, right? If I'm going to my family for Thanksgiving, I'm like, hey, can you bake some sweet potatoes for me? Hey, can you have an avocado there? Hey, it's not a big deal, I'll eat a cooked gluten-free vegan cookie. I'll eat vegan ice cream out of a container. And I have to be honest with you, and a lot of you are going to be like, oh my God, I cannot believe she actually said that. But if you look at a lot of you who are hardcore, and I love my high fruit vegans. I'm one myself. I nosh on fruit, but a lot of you you're not looking so good. I'm sorry. A lot of you aren't. And the reason you're not is you need to like live a little, right? When I started living more, as far as eating more, kind of naughty vegan foods in with my high vibrational way of eating, my hair started growing. I mean, my skin improved. It's not about being perfect. And we don't have to harp on people for not being perfect, right? I have a Facebook group on here with over 20,000 very high fruitarian vegans. And sometimes when I share something, if there's a baked sweet potato in there, I get like the wrath of the high fruitarian community. And it's like, do we really need to judge people? I mean, I don't know about you guys. Don't worry, I'm the only one eating this salad. So if there's any hair in the vicinity, it's just going to go into me. A lot of you a lot of you vegans, what did you originally go vegan for? For me, it was, it's the animals. So let's not harp on people. Let's try to, because, if you're trying to transform lives and if you're trying to help people go plant-based for the animals, for the better good of the world and the planet and the animals, you don't want to be harping on them because they had a big sweet potato, or they put liquid stevia drops in something instead of, growing their own green stevia plant like I do. You don't want to harp on people like that. Be gentle and kind. I had to learn that over the years because, people would pick me apart in the comments like, oh my God, you use stevia, and I also have a stevia plant in my garden. Oh my God, you baked a sweet potato. Aren't you 100% raw vegan? Not when it's 30 below. Come on, let people transition at their own pace. And then, usually we go 100% raw vegan, so we're uber healthy for a period of time. And then we find our homeostasis, we find our equilibrium, we find that place that's right above the equator and not too close to it, so we can find balance in our lives. That is what this is all about. This lifestyle is not supposed to be dogmatic. It's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be easy. And if Trader Joe's is making an almond dip that's gluten-free and vegan and has no seed oils in it, well, by God, it's going in my salad, okay? So, all right, so by now, and remember, this is without an avocado. Look at the texture. Do you all see the texture? It's super creamy, and that's without an avocado. This is what we want. I love that my hair looks purple on Instagram. So we're gonna take this organic baked tofu. And I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, she's doing soy. We have to tune out. Well, I gotta tell you, if I don't do a little every once in a while, I am, too thin when I don't. And I like a little muscle. I lift weight. So we're gonna just boom, half of that in there. It's gonna add a little texture, a little more protein. And this is really great for those of you who are not vegan and you want to go vegan and you're worried, where will I get my protein from? I'm just going to kind of chop that up so it blends in. Where will I get this from? Where will I get that from? You don't have to worry. There's enough protein in fruits and vegetables, and you're going to be fine. I promise you. Okay. 26 years vegan, and I have Rapunzel hair, and my skin looks like a baby's derriere. And you don't have to worry. You'll be okay. So I'm going to just do 1 tablespoon, which is about 3 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, just to help all this digest. I'm going to add a little more nutritional yeast because we want to get rid of these packages, right? We want them to be nearly empty. And I'm actually going to kind of plate this and show you guys what it looks like. I mean, so good. I'm going to actually put it, I'm going to put it in this, a clear dish, just so you guys can kind of see how yummy this is. And it's got colors. It's like yellow and green and red. It looks like Christmas. And you guys, I know you guys are like, well, what would you eat after? Because I want to tell you something. If you're eating a mixing bowl of greens with avocado and hemp seeds and cucumber and tomato and a little bit of tofu in there, or nix the tofu if you're crazy, and don't, want it, that's fine. You are going to be incredibly full. It's beautiful, right? It's so pretty. And that's all you have to do, folks. Learn to food combine. Use this. I can't use the term I usually use because I don't want to get, audited on these platforms. The algorithm already isn't picking me up, and that's okay. That'll change. We're going to keep it vanilla, okay? Thank you, Meta. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Instagram. So, you know, this is all you have to do. It's very simple. Juice, get yourself a nice big juicer like this commercial juicer that my ex-boyfriend bought me. Thank you. He was a Taurus. They're so good with money. Get yourself a nice big juicer. Start juicing, right? You can do it on a Saturday. You can keep enough for 3 or 4 days. You can put some in the fridge and then leave a little air in a canning jar and store the rest in the freezer. Start making these huge shallots and put them in glass containers or mixing bowls in your fridge. Have these before you eat your cooked food or your animal products, you know, and you can slowly transition. It's easy, folks. I'm telling you, I went from a high protein, I was a fitness model. I went from a very high protein diet of 6 meals per day of protein at every meal. And I was very sick. I was in my 20s. I looked great. Don't get me wrong. That body was perfect, but I didn't feel good and I was young. And when you don't feel good and you're young, there's something wrong. So, you know, it's a transition, but I believe in each and every one of you, and I know you can do it. If you want some help, you can always hire me. I am a holistic wellness coach. Links, just go to 𝗬𝗲𝐼𝗀𝐻.com, click on Holistic Wellness Coaching, fill out the questionnaire, and myself or my assistant will get back to you. And, you know, we take payment plans and all that, so don't worry about that. Also, get the book, Eat Right for Your Zodiac, also on 𝗬𝗲𝐼𝗀𝐻.com. I will share the link to my Shopify store in the comments below, and get the deck. These two together work so well. Shipment of the deck arrives on April 15th. It's our second shipment. We sold out the first time, shocked myself on that. So it has taken quite a bit of time, but I think that you will love those two together. Eat Right for Your Zodiac and the Lessons of the Mystical Muse, if coaching isn't in your financial cards right now. However, again, I work with everyone on prices. So I'm Andrea Cox. Check me out on YouTube, Andrea Cox TV, for health and wellness. I just love this dress. Goodwill, $5. It's got flowers and butterflies and unicorns on it. Isn't it pretty? I'm going to go to the coffee shop and flirt with strangers. And The Detox, Intuitive for Intuitive Guidance. I love each and every one of you. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Tuesday. Be well. Bye. You guys were so good boys. You guys were good boys. Mommy loves you good boys.